Hey, what if everything your parents told you about real estate being a safe investment is completely wrong in 2026? You work hard, save for years, finally buy a property pair, only to discover the math is secretly working against you now. The real problem, Town, millennials are buying real estate using a playbook written decades ago for an economy that no longer exists. Millions of millennials globally are about to learn this lesson the expensive way, locking themselves into traps their parents never faced. The first reason real estate is risky now, calm. Mortgage rates are dramatically higher than the ultra-cheap era of the 2010s. A doubling of the mortgage rate can easily increase your total loan cost by hundreds of thousands of dollars over 30 years. If rates remain elevated, you could spend decades paying mostly interest with barely any progress on the actual loan. The fixed how: only buy real estate when your total monthly payment stays under 28% of your take-home income. This means the total of mortgage, property tax, insurance, and maintenance. It's not just the loan payment itself. True housing. Today, Debao, calculate 28% of your take-home pay and write down the maximum you can actually afford honestly. The second risk home: property prices in many markets have risen far faster than wages, making affordability historically terrible. Your parents might have bought a home at 3 times their salary, payers. Today, that ratio is often 8 to 12 times income. Overpaying for property means decades of financial stress, limited savings growth, and no room left for any other investments. The fixed film: compare rent versus buy using the price to rent ratio before ever considering purchasing any property. If buying costs you far more than renting for the same home, invest that difference in index funds instead of overpaying. Today, Cloud, search the price to rent ratio for your target area and find out if buying even makes sense right now. The third risk woe: hidden costs of homeownership eat returns silently. Maintenance, repairs, taxes, fees, and unexpected expenses. A $400,000 home easily costs $4,000 to $8,000 a year just in maintenance and surprise repairs. These hidden costs can wipe out most of your property's appreciation ACU, leaving you with no real return after decades of ownership. The fixed how: always calculate your true net return by subtracting every single hidden cost before buying any property anywhere. Use the 1% annual maintenance rule as your minimum baseline kind. Set aside that money every single year automatically. Today, Pro, create a full cost spreadsheet that lists every single expense of property ownership for the home you're considering. The fourth risk: putting all your wealth into one property means zero diversification and maximum exposure to one local market. When your down payment equals your entire net worth, a local housing crash or job loss can wipe out decades of savings. Real estate is also incredibly illiquid. If life changes happen, selling takes months and costs thousands in transaction fees. The fixed how: get real estate exposure through diversified REITs instead of betting your entire net worth on one local property. A REIT gives you exposure to hundreds of properties globally, fully liquid, low entry cost, and diversified across multiple markets. Today, Guo, search for a broad global REIT ETF on your investment app and research it before considering any single property. The fifth risk button: remote work and demographic shifts are quietly reshaping which property markets will grow and which will decline. Cities that relied on office workers are losing population power, while smaller towns and hybrid-friendly regions are seeing unexpected property booms. Buying a property today in a declining market means your asset could silently lose value for years while you pay full price. The fix is research population trends, job growth, and infrastructure plans before buying in any specific area on your shortlist. Buy only where population is growing, jobs are expanding, and the area remains desirable even in a hybrid work future. Today, Craft, search the population trend and job growth numbers for any area you're considering buying property in right now. The sixth risk kind: real estate historically underperforms diversified stock market investing over long periods of time after all costs. Over a full century, stock markets have averaged around 10% annually. Real estate has averaged only 3 to 4% net. If you pour everything into real estate instead of diversified investing, you could end up with half the wealth over 30 years. Real estate alone equals potentially half the wealth. The fixed how: treat real estate as just one part of a balanced portfolio, never as your entire wealth building strategy. Invest in stocks, bonds, index funds, and REITs simultaneously. Let diversification protect you when any single asset underperforms. Today, draw your current portfolio breakdown and check if any single asset class is over 50% of your total wealth. Map your portfolio, rebalance if anything exceeds 50%. You now know every risk and every protection move. Here is your complete new Millennial Real Estate Framework in a fast recap. Never exceed 28% of income on total housing costs. And always compare price to rent before ever buying property. Calculate every hidden cost before buying calm and use REITs for diversified real estate exposure without risking your entire net worth. Calculate all costs. Use REITs, always. Research population and job trends before any purchase count. And treat real estate as one balanced portfolio piece, never your whole strategy. Real estate still has a place in smart wealth building, but only when you respect the math and protect yourself completely. Bonus tip, never let emotion drive a real estate decision. Falling in love with a property is the fastest way to overpay. Are you still planning to buy real estate or rethinking it now? Drop your honest answer in the comments below right now. Subscribe to Money Quill. Have a new money secret every week to build your wealth. See you soon.